Welcome,
Cool.
everybody. This is episode 1 of the Underdeveloped podcast. I am Jay, novice game designer and lover of Lego.
Hey guys, my name is Dylan. You may know me as Dolzo from my YouTube channel. I am also a novice game designer, and I am a lover of
Penis.
game design. Well, okay, all right, yeah. Great start. We rolling with it?
Yeah, just roll with it.
Yeah, right. So, welcome.
Yeah, welcome.
We did a thing.
Yeah, we're
do you wanna-
doing a thing.
Do you wanna tell the lovely people listening what this podcast is about, Jay?
I will. So this podcast entails basically the production process of video games, what game design is, how it functions, and how it plays into the rest of the video game that you guys play at home. We'll also be talking about big releases from big companies and what those big companies are doing and why they're not releasing stuff sooner.
Yeah, so hopefully our little spin on what's happening with games at the moment is gonna be pretty interesting. We're pretty scuffed. We're Aussies, so yeah. Hopefully we get a few laughs as well. But thanks for coming along the ride.
Yeah.
Butchered that, but
It's fine.
All
Alright, so first
take us away.
First topic. What is game design? What is game design to you?
Well, so there's the general understanding that most people see it as is game design is just like another thing is game development. But game design, much like programming and being an artist, is a specific role in itself. So stuff like level design, mental blank now, but also like project management, scoping, planning out, all the kind of like behind the scenes sort of work that a programmer or an artist wouldn't do.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I'd describe it. It's basically just planning out an entire game on a piece of paper and making sure that game is realistically going to be able to be made, then managing either a small or large team of artists, programmers, and other designers to sort of get the programmers to make stuff work, the artists to make stuff pretty, and then the designer sort of smashes it all together and makes it what you guys see.
Basically, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the sort of the general term for like designers is just the ideas guys.
Yeah.
It's a bit of the derogatory term, but I don't think anyone will get offended by it.
Probably.
We joke about it ourselves. Like,
yeah.
But we're the ideas guys.
Yeah, we're definitely the ideas guys. But that being said, people from all around the company do give ideas. They're just they're just shit until the designer comes and makes it better.
I mean, yeah, if you want to say it like that. Yeah, so of course, yeah. The more like ideas, the better, right? Like we take the ideas from everyone, and then it's like mashing it in together so it like fits like Lego. Like it all goes together, and no seams, no cracks, just works well, pretty cute,
absolutely
all the good stuff.
Making that nice, sweet little castle that you bought your nephew for Easter, but then completely forgot to give him. So you're making it yourself now.
Oh hell yeah, you too. Damn.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so yeah,
So
bigger decision making and problem solving role. So a lot of fun.
Yeah, big decision making capabilities are held in the game design role. If you see something in a video game, a designer put it there, or a designer told someone to put it there.
Yeah, of course it's all a team effort. Like we wouldn't be able to do what we do without the amazingly talented programmers and artists.
Yeah, absolutely.
They truly bring it together. But our role is to manage it and
smash it together.
Connect. Yeah, basically.
All right. So I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What's the most overused trick in games that game designers and developers use to guide a player to an endpoint? That you see as kind of tacky or overused and kind of stale.
You know, I really don't like the minimap.
The mini-map.
Yeah, because it's just, oh, yep, here's your area around you. You're gonna spend 90% of the game staring at this minimap.
Yeah.
Like, a game that does like sort of substitutes this really well is the Mafia ones, and they'll have like street signs that they're like subtly pointing to where you want to go.
Oh yeah. Those
Like they'll change the names of the street signs to. It's been a long time since I played it, but I don't know. It says like this way or something like that, objective, something like that. But there's just way better ways we can do things than a mini map.
Yeah.
Like have your enemies yelling out every now and then so you can tell where they are instead of red dots on the mini map. So you have to look for them.
Yeah, absolutely. The one that really
What about you anyway?
The one that really gets me, and it's in so many AAA games, is the lens flare. Whenever you like an area you're supposed to be in is like on the edge of your vision, you get a lens flare there. And as soon as I say this, everyone's going to notice it. It's in The Last of Us 2 almost the entire way. Like you get this tiny lens flare at the corner of your screen that makes you snap and look at it, and that's the direction you're supposed to be going. It's so tacky.
Oh, okay.
It's so overused. Like you can do so much more with it. Especially like in guiding the player. There's so many different ways you could do that. Like you do it with an actually well-defined path. Like if there's just a path like on the ground, the player's obviously going to look at that and go, "Wow, that's the way to go because there's a path there." But if there's like the ground looks all the same, and then there's just one lens flare over there, it gets kind of confusing at times, and some people even get like things like epilepsy warnings and stuff like that, and it's just so tacky and so overused.
It's really in your face as well.
Yeah,
like you can just it can be solved by just structuring the level in a way that leads your eye to look to where you want them to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
something
one
big.
of the worst one of the worst offenders, I reckon, is Battlefield 4.
Oh my god.
It's not necessarily a level design thing because you're not telling them to go anywhere.
Yeah.
But well, it's either 4 or 5, one of them. Basically, one of the maps, team starts one end, team starts the other, and of course there's a sunset on one side of the map.
Oh yeah.
So whichever team is facing the sunset just has less visibility. They're just gonna lose the game because they can't see anything. The enemies. And the map it's on is this like really like grassy like shrubbery thing anyway, so it's hard to see people.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's Battlefield 5. It's just a mess.
Yeah,
but yeah,
just managing your lighting well in levels is really something that needs to be done more, because some levels are made absolutely beautiful with lighting, and then others are just completely ruined. Like some parts in Cyberpunk 2077, you just can't see anything because either the sun's just setting and you're near the river, and then the reflection off the river is just blinding your camera, or the sun's already set and it's like the middle of the night and you just can't see anything because the ambient brightness is just so low, and the skybox brightness is just non-existent, so you're squinting or you're adjusting your brightness to adjust the day-night cycle.
I really wanted to like Cyberpunk, but
yeah, me
holy
too.
shit.
I tried so hard.
Like, you have to really sit in a specific spot for it to actually look like a finished game.
Yeah.
I was just walking up to like props in the game, and I was zooming in on like couches and that sort of thing. They are film quality assets.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, they are so high quality, and while most people might be like, yeah, no, that's good. Like, you can't see a single polygon on them. that's why the game runs like dog shit.
Yeah.
Because everything is these super high poly assets that are like film quality. You know, these films, they'll fully be made of those high quality assets, but they take days to render frames.
Yeah.
Like, you can't expect a game to get to 60 FPS if your polygon count is anywhere near that. Like, it's...
Oh, yeah.
There's so many oversights in that game, which are just like, what are you doing, mate? You made Witcher? Like, how far did you fall?
They made The Witcher, and then... How long did it take to make Cyberpunk again? Like 7 years?
Oh, yeah.
It was in development for 7 years, and that's what they could muster? Like, did they just drop the budget to nearly nothing, like, halfway through?
I think it's, like, there's obviously a lot of talent at CD Projekt.
There's a lot of talent. I think they've done...
It was probably management issues. Like, something went wrong along the way, or they didn't have a... Oh, wasn't it... I read somewhere, like, they didn't go into full-scale development until really late, and then they didn't have a lot of time to actually... like have a lot of manpower on the game.
Really?
I could be wrong, but I think I read an article about that a while ago. Like, because it was in sort of prototyping. You know, you might have 10 people working on it max for like 5-6 years, and then when they're finally like, oh yep, nope, it's design ready, we're gonna make it. They throw they throw everyone at the game. But they don't have enough time to do it because it's already 6 years down the track from the announcement. Like,
yeah, it took 9 years of development time, and they only had adequate manpower for 3 of those years. That's what I'm reading here.
It's ridiculous.
9 years, and you only had adequate people working on it for 3. Like, what did you do for 6 years that made you think, yeah, we're going to be able to pay everyone for this, and the sunk cost fallacy definitely does not apply here? Like, what goes...
Like, I'm sure there was something that went on behind the scenes, but...
surely there's something they're not releasing.
Eventually, I'm sure we'll hear the full story, but, yeah, it's just... After all that, it's just a letdown, you know? But, let's move on from that. Yeah. So we've talked about, like, things we really hate in, like, level design, game design, right?
Yeah.
What would you say is, like, your most important part?
The most important part of level design, or game design in total, is probably, in game design, it's either narrative direction, if you're going for a narrative game. So making sure the story is coherent, the lore is deep, and if it's a story game, it actually has a story for the player to sort of progress through. That's kind of what a lot of AAA games are going for these days. They're going for this narrative experience, but they're only doing surface level narrative. Like, there's like a main campaign, but there's nothing behind it. There's no questions at the end. Unless it's like part 1 of 3 trilogy.
Yeah. It's okay. I'm sort of on the other side of the fence there.
Really?
90% of games I play, I couldn't give less of a shit about the story.
Oh, really?
I'm here for a good time. I just want to shoot shit. I want to blow shit up.
Yeah.
I want to ram cars into other cars. I want to get in the jet. I want to ram the jet into other jets. Like. But if this game has a brilliant story, awesome. I love it for that. But it's a game.
Yeah.
We're not reading a book. We're not watching a movie. Of course, narrative, like, it is really important. But I feel like it's a secondary thing, if anything.
Oh, yeah? So what would be your most important thing in a video game, in game design?
Definitely pacing.
Oh, that's actually really good.
Yeah. There's so much nowadays. Like, I explained in, like, the start of my last video I uploaded, that I have a hard time enjoying Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, because the pacing is just so slow, and you're waiting for things.
Yeah, like I understand. Like it's a slow burn game. Like that's the design.
Yeah.
But it's parts where you go into your camp and you're like, oh, I want to deliver a deer to donate to my camp or something, and it slows you down to just a crawl. You're forcefully only able to walk at like 2 kilometers a year,
Yeah.
and it's just the worst thing. Like, don't limit my movement. Like, there's so many games where not limiting your movement is the most fun part about it. And if you start limiting movement, you're limiting what I can do, and then the game becomes a movie.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm just sitting there waiting for something to happen. Like, keep it going, keep it rolling. Sure, you have your downtimes, cool. Cutscenes are great for that. But
yeah.
keep it moving. Like,
Yeah,
my
the
gameplay
pacing-
doesn't need to be a cutscene.
Yeah, and what was that one? What was that one game that turned to be like 3/4 of the game was just cutscenes?
Oh,
Oh, it spent so
I
much
think
time.
Wolfenstein 2 had a big problem for that. That
They did,
like,
yeah.
the cutscenes were good quality, but I think there was about 6 hours worth of cutscenes in the final game.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I haven't fact checked this, but there is a lot of cutscenes, and I played it again recently. Not that much gameplay.
Yeah. There you go.
Like-
Wolfenstein 2 will have 3 hours of cutscenes.
Oh, okay. So I just mentally doubled that. My bad. But that's still a lot
That's-
for like a
That's
what-
like
something
two,
like a.
two full length feature length films in just cutscenes.
Yeah, but I think I've got it on my library here. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, well, I think last time I played through it, it probably would have taken me like 6 to 8 hours.
There we go.
And yeah, if there's 3 hours of cutscenes in that, God, that's a large chunk of the game that the player's just sitting there. But they're enjoyable cutscenes. It's a good time nonetheless. But I want to be in the pilot seat
Yeah.
generally.
Another game that's really focused on their cutscenes is Oddworld Soulstorm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have it's like a 12-hour game, and there's a total of about an hour and a half, 2 hours of cutscenes.
Okay.
And they have like
not too
tailored
bad.
cutscenes to what circumstance you're in during the game as well. So like
okay.
they spent a lot of time, and the cutscenes are really good, but they just take so long. Like,
Fair enough. I've never played Oddworld.
Haven't
I
you?
should give it a go sometime. No,
no, they're some
No.
of my favorite games.
I didn't even know it existed until a couple years ago.
That's probably when I told you
yeah.
about it, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe. Like, I'm living under a rock in terms of stuff like that.
Yeah, Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey, and Abe's Exodus were like PlayStation 1 games, where like they had like
Oh,
short
okay.
cutscenes, but it was mainly gameplay. Then they did like New and Tasty in like 2012. They did a whole bunch of side games like Munch's Odyssey and Stranger's World. They weren't like the main game, which is following this guy named Abe, and he's like different to everyone, and he's like freeing the slaves of the planet that he lives on, Oddworld.
All right.
And yeah, he's like the only one with like magical powers and shit like that. It's pretty cool. I definitely
okay.
rate it very highly. It's one of my favorite games of all time.
I'll have to give it a go one day. I got nothing to play at the moment, so maybe if I can grab it for cheap, I'll give it a go.
Yeah, it's like $2 on Steam.
Oh, shit. All right. Yeah, no excuse then.
Fairly sure it was like 60 cents when I bought them both.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely another really important part would be the scoping of a game.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
when you're planning it out and you need to decide like how much is too much for the allotted development time. Because there's so many games nowadays that just
Yeah. They
they try
biting
and
off
cram too much in. Yeah, like just keep it simple and if you end up with extra time, like, just improve on the stuff that's there. If you can add stuff, cool, but there's so much, just tries to cram so much in that's not needed. Like, again, Red Dead, there's so much little details.
Yeah, there's so much shit. Like,
wasn't there some guy like spent like 6 months working on the horse ball physics?
Yeah, the horse's testicles shrink and expand when treated to different temperatures.
That's just
who the fuck
stupid.
Is going to be staring at the horse's testicles and being like, it moved? Why did it move? Who cares
people may
if the
be
horse
different.
nuts can move?
Other people may be different, but
I mean,
I don't really want to look
weird.
at the horse's balls. Like,
if you're like looking at the horse balls in Red Dead, you go you. But
you do you.
I just don't understand why they spent so much time working on nut physics. It just doesn't fucking make sense.
They could have used that on just like the shooting is just so bare bones in Red Dead 2.
Yeah,
they could have used that to just that 6 months, just to spice that up just a little bit.
They could have definitely done with more development time on the shooting. Some of the movement mechanics I feel are a little bit clunky. Like
it can be at times, yeah.
The jumping on the horse when you do that, that's a bit sort of what the fuck. It just feels like it's not developed that much.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of like really like well done stuff in that game.
Oh,
the
absolutely.
Polish level is so high, but it seems to be polished not in the right areas. Like, polish your main gameplay.
Yeah,
I suppose it's pretty smooth, but it just could be better.
They definitely spent a lot of time polishing the parts that they thought were important, but then completely forgot about the other important parts, which happens quite often. Like in even the most recent Call of Duty games, if you bought Call of Duty Modern Warfare and then Cold War, you got scammed, my friend, because not too long ago they merged Modern Warfare multiplayer and Cold War multiplayer to be the same thing.
Really? You can play Modern Warfare in Cold War?
No, Modern Warfare just straight up isn't a game anymore. It just launches Cold War.
Oh. What? So you just can't play Modern Warfare anymore?
Well, like I went to play Modern Warfare and it told me to insert the Cold War disc. So all right. So insert the Cold War disc. And then it launched the Cold War and then just straight up launched Cold War multiplayer. And it's like, what? But I wanted to play Modern Warfare. I had like Prestige on that. I haven't bothered with Cold War. I just bought that for zombies.
Jesus. Are you sure that's not like Warzone you're trying to get into?
No, it wasn't Warzone. It was definitely multiplayer.
God. Yeah, I mean, it's the engine, like the game's exactly the same, just like with a retexture, pretty much.
Yeah. They're literally identical with just slightly different names and textures.
I really enjoyed Modern Warfare, so that kind of sucks that
Modern Warfare was pretty good, yeah. It was quite good.
Yeah, it didn't feel like a Call of Duty game. Like it felt like it was so much more.
Yeah. Not to mention I was actually good at it. That's a first. I've been playing Call of Duty since I was literally 9, and I've never actually been good at it until Modern Warfare.
I was good once. On Black Ops 2, I remember I used to do League play with my friends.
I tried so hard on Black Ops 2, but I just could not do it.
Yeah. I ended up I got the Platinum League, which is like the second highest one. I don't know if that means anything, because it's probably like you could count like the players in League play like on your hands, right? But I was pretty chuffed for that. Like,
yeah, that's pretty good.
12, 13-year-old kid, whatever I was at the time, I was like telling everyone, I'm like, yeah, Platinum League, baby.
Yeah, Platinum League. Look at this big guy.
Girls lining up at my door, like, oh, hold up, I gotta finish this game. Like, yeah.
If only that were the case.
Yeah. Oh well.
Oh, we can't change the past.
All right, Jay. So,
I got another. got another topic for you.
Yeah.
What do you think makes games addictive? Like, what gets you addicted to games?
Personally, I really like power fantasy games.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that sounds really bad, but stuff like Doom or Ultra Kill, I was just playing before, which I fucking love.
Yeah.
Just stuff that makes you feel like a one-man army, and it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
the games where you can improve upon your gameplay, just not by unlocks, not necessarily by unlocks or other stuff. It's all on you just getting better and learning the mechanics. Like, you can play Doom Eternal at a base level and just use a super shotgun the whole game, but
Oh, yeah. You can,
eventually you're
absolutely.
going to be flipping between all the guns, doing as much damage per second as you can, and you're just flying through these levels, just having such a good time. I love stuff
yeah.
like that.
And not only like feeling powerful, it's also like all the blood and guts and gore flying all over the place. It looks really satisfying.
Oh,
Especially
yes.
especially in Doom, where you like rip something apart and it just sort of flies everywhere.
Oh yeah, like
That looks so
that's-
cool. They did such a good
those-
job with that.
Yeah, those type of games are just pure dopamine dispensers for me.
Oh yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
if I get to just smash my way through a level of just the more like blood and guts, the better. Like I really enjoy that. Like, there's some little dark part of me that's like, fuck yeah, I want to rip that demon's intestines out. Like, it's a good time. The more full on it gets, the more I enjoy it generally.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about you anyway?
For me, it's actually really like big numbers. So like
Yeah?
if you can achieve a score, I want that score to be as big as possible. Like it
Okay.
doesn't matter how often you see the score. Like something that's done this quite well is Minecraft. I was
yeah?
addicted to Minecraft, but not for the reason most people were. I was addicted because I wanted to play single player and then see if I could get 10,000 score when I died, 100,000 score, 1,000,000 score. And I wanted to see how high I could push that number in one sitting.
Jeez. So you're a bit of a grinder.
Yeah,
That sounds
I'm a grinder.
Yeah, that's one thing I can't bring myself to do. I just can't grind in games.
Some games I
Like-
can't, like Destiny.
Oh,
I-
that's the example I was going to use.
Yeah, Destiny is just such a grindy game. I could never.
Oh, yeah. I think I hold like a personal grudge against Destiny. And
Yeah.
so I might need to get over that a bit. But the first game, I remember, I got it. A bunch of my friends got it. We all logged on, played the first level. All right, I got to go do something. Bye. See you tomorrow. I got on. My friends had basically finished the game, and I had to play through the rest of this game, which is dependent on co-op to be enjoyable by
Yeah.
myself. And I was so pissed. I did
Yeah.
not have a good time. That, from my experience, if you enjoy Destiny, it's good for you. Like, this is my opinion. Like, you're completely entitled to like the game. Doesn't matter. That game is, it feels like it's fully built for the whole, you know when you play a game and it's just generally more fun if you're playing it with friends.
Yeah, it's
And
definitely
that's-
more fun when you play with people rather than playing solo. Like,
Yeah, like, I feel like that's sometimes a cop out.
yeah,
Because, of course, anything's more fun with friends. If I'm sitting around watching grass grow, that's more fun for friends.
yeah.
But you shouldn't have to rely on that.
No, it's definitely a cheap way to get people to enjoy the game. Because, like,
Yeah. But then
games-
again, we do need more co-op. Because co-op is good.
yeah, co-op is definitely, it makes for a more fun experience. But if I'm playing a game that I picked up, I don't want co-op to be like the only reason I enjoy the game.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's like Borderlands. Borderlands is still so much fun to play by yourself.
Oh yeah, yeah. Borderlands was so good.
It's just even better with friends, and that's how they should be. I feel like Destiny, to me, it's just this Borderlands without that
Yeah,
fun factor in itself. It has to be with friends.
yeah.
But that's just me because I'm like just super like my attention span is so small when it comes to games. So that's it's yeah, I'm really picky. So take
Yeah.
everything I say with a grain of salt.
On a slight offshoot of addictive games, did you know that Aristocrat Leisure, the massive pokey company in Australia, did you know that they own Raid Shadow Legends?
Do they?
Yep. Aristocrat Leisure owns the company, Plarium, which develops Raid Shadow Legends.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I didn't know the company, but it's surprising to know that Raid's developed in Australia.
Yeah, it's developed in Sydney.
Ah, okay. All right, so we're to blame for all the ads.
Yeah, yeah, we're the blame.
Ah, shit. God damn it. Yeah. That's one thing that really gets on my nerve is just the quality of mobile game ads.
Yeah.
They are really rough at the moment. Like AFK Arena, Raid Shadow Legends. What's that new one? I think it's by the same developers as Raid Shadow Legends.
What, Rise of Kingdoms?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I hate those ads so much. It's to the point where like I keep seeing these ads so much that whether it's a good game or not,
I don't want to play it.
I don't care. I am not playing this game in spite because you have shoved it in my face that much.
I just skip the next 30 seconds as soon as they say thanks to our sponsor. That's it. I just skip 30 seconds ahead because it's like,
yeah,
nope,
what?
don't want to hear about Raid Shadow Legends. I
you
really
gotta
don't.
sometimes because you know, like at risk of never getting a Raid Shadow Legends sponsor. You know, like there's so many people talk about it. It's just the same thing every time.
Oh yeah.
At one point, it's like, all right, come on, like
At
you should
some
be-
point,
you should be paying
realize.
me at this point. Like it's a part-time job. How much time I'm spending on Raid Shadow Legends, and I don't even have the game.
Yeah. But do you know how much creators get paid to promote Raid Shadow Legends? It's actually like
it's a-
public. It's like public information. They've released it.
It's a fair amount, isn't it?
It's $5,000 for every 200 downloads.
Jesus.
At least that's
Yeah.
what this one Minecraft YouTuber, his name's Swavey.
Alright.
He was approached by Raid Shadow Legends. They're like, yeah, do 5 videos, and for every video, we'll give you the chance to get $5,000. You get $5,000 for every 200 downloads. And that's such a shitty thing to do. Because, like, let's say Mr. Beast did a Raid Shadow Legends thing, and he's done that before. Mr. Beast, you know, 50 something million subscribers.
Yeah.
He's probably going to make, on average, about 50 grand from that. Like,
From like 2 minutes from a video.
yeah, he's going to make 50 grand from that and only do like 2 minutes of work. And not only, he's also going to keep the ad revenue on the video, which is going to be
Right.
through the roof because he's a child-friendly YouTube account.
Well,
And
like, I can't blame him for taking the sponsorships.
I can't blame him
'cause,
either. Like, do you see
yeah,
the shit
like-
that he does?
Yeah. Well, he needs the money. He spends that much money.
Oh, yeah.
But like, yeah, like I mean, get that bag. Of course, Raid's got to do its advertising, but
Raid's got to get
oh
them
my god,
viewers.
like the ads.
How do they afford that though? Like how can they afford to just pay like
I don't know.
at this point
it's
it's got to be at least like $500,000 a day.
It's like they saw the Mafia City ads and just cranked them up by 10
Yeah.
They're better quality at least. Like
The
they're not
Mafia City.
reusing Half-Life assets and other bullshit like that. But
At least the Mafia City adverts actually had some sort of comedic aspect to it.
yeah, but that wasn't the fault of the ads. It was the fault of everyone taking the piss.
Yeah. Everyone was like, "Oh, look at this funny thing."
Yeah. I mean, Raid Shadow Legends has sort of got that now, but the comedy aspect is how annoying they are.
Yeah,
How
everyone
often
makes
you
fun of
see
them.
the ads. It is a nightmare. But I haven't seen a Raid Shadow Legends ad in a while, but I have seen way too many Rise of Kingdoms ones. Like, if I hear, like, another person, like, if I hear someone mention Spain in public, the ad just
Oh my
repeats in my
God.
head. Like, I would choose Spain as it is better in the early game and
It's-
this and that. And, like, oh, God, come on.
Spain has the higher crop yield and early game experience buff. Of course. Why else would I not? Why else would I choose
It's-
anything else?
It's definitely something like that. It's just, I'm being brainwashed. I'm being brainwashed. I can feel them sticking their bloody probes in the back of my head, shocking Rise of Kingdoms into me until I download it.
Like
But I
that-
won't.
Like
I
that
will
one.
not.
It's definitely like that one Futurama 3-part movie episode thing where it's like that interdimensional being sticks its dick into the back of everyone's head.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and everyone like has it like sticking through them, and then it turns out like everyone's getting fucked by this weird ass interdimensional tentacle monster. Like it's some weird hentai.
Yep, no, definitely feeling that.
Yeah, that's definitely the vibe we're getting these days.
Yeah.
But like,
God.
I don't blame them at all. They're definitely chasing the bag.
Oh yeah, like get the bag, but
Get the bag.
I can
cheap.
I can be grumpy. I can be a grumpy old man at 21. Like,
Yeah,
what are you gonna do?
I'm allowed.
You're
I'm
listening
allowed
to the
be bitter.
podcast. Yeah, you're listening to the podcast. It's your problem.
Yeah.
No, I thank you for listening. We very much
Yes.
value you being
Yes.
here.
Please tell all of your friends about us. Spread the
Alright.
word so we can get a Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship.
Yeah, dude. Dude, if we come on the next episode and there's a Raid Shadow Legends sponsor, that'll be the
Oh.
funniest thing.
Honestly,
Um,
I wouldn't even be surprised. Raid just jumps on everything.
Oh, I
Like-
mean, I'd like take it in a heartbeat, right?
Oh, absolutely. I'd take that.
All right. Well, let's move on from complaining about ads for a bit.
Yeah.
So, a big debate in games is the whole violence thing, right?
Oh,
we gotta address this at one point.
Got
And
to address
I
the
can- I-
elephant.
I just hear like the collective sigh of everyone watching, like, video games don't cause violence. And
Which is true.
yeah, well, I think it's definitely debatable.
It's definitely a debatable topic. Like,
I think if you're gonna say video games cause violence, then movies cause violence, books cause violence, TV shows cause violence, ads cause violence. It's media in general.
yeah. Yeah, and
Like-
not only is it media, it's also addiction. I reckon is the real culprit.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff nowadays, I believe, is messing with the mental state of people. Especially social media. Social media is
Oh.
just such a big problem nowadays.
Did you
Did
know
you-
that every day on average 150 million years of social media is consumed?
It doesn't surprise me, honestly.
Like on average every day.
And I'm not like yelling at everyone being like, oh, you got to stop using social media. Like, I'm part of the problem. I use
Yeah.
it way too much.
I use
And
that shit way too
I,
much.
I hate it. Like, I hate that I use it so much. I've been actively trying to distance myself from social media because I just, I go take a shit. I sit there and I scroll through the Twitter for like 15 minutes. I go for a walk and I'm walking whilst scrolling through Facebook. I go for a run on the treadmill at gym. I'm on Facebook Marketplace looking at stuff. Like,
Yeah.
It's an issue.
Oh, some like South Australian YouTubers tried to sell someone, like an actual person, on the Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Fairburn brothers. They tried to sell Jackson Fairburn on the Facebook Marketplace for $50.
Oh, that's great. I love the Fairburn brothers.
They're so
good.
cool.
I
By
haven't
the
watched
way,
them in a while.
Lachlan Fairburn, if you ever hear this, you're a champ. It's good to see you at town once when one of your mates screamed at me. I can't remember why.
Oh,
Yeah.
It sounds like you sort of met him. You saw him. Did you actually meet him?
I spoke with him for a second. He apologized for his friend, but I don't actually remember anything else. All I remember is,
okay.
hey, that's Lachlan Fairburn.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, I mean, he seemed like a pretty nice guy. This was a while ago.
They do seem like pretty good blokes. I watched I watched Cold Ones, and
Oh yeah,
I don't know. I'm like I'm so jealous. Like I want to go hang out with like Max Mofo and anything for views. Like that'd be a good time. And like the podcast episode where they were like on with them.
yeah.
It just seemed like I don't know how to explain it. They seem like so young and innocent compared to these. Well, probably just Chad specifically, like Max
Yeah.
Mofo.
Max has been sent like hard drugs on his YouTube channel. Like he used to do like fan mail unboxings, and people have like sent him meth and crack, and
Does not surprise me.
they sent him anthrax.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure he wouldn't complain.
No, he was just chilling. He did one of his entire episodes in like I think it was like a radiation suit, because someone sent him like actual crusty human shit.
I mean, if you have a PO box, it's gonna happen eventually, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
That's just a given. Back on the video games causing violence topic.
Yeah.
I think it's just like it's the promotion of like acting more just against like better thought, really. Like TikTok is a big issue because there's so many like young people inexperienced.
Oh yeah.
Just spouting bullshit, bad advice, just dumbassery. I'm sure there's like plenty of good stuff on TikTok, but what I see is just terrible. Like there's so much just promotion of bad mindsets, bad like ways to. Oh, my phone went off. Sorry.
There's the social media again.
Yeah, no, it's an issue. But like, yeah, bad ways of thinking. Like, oh, you should do this. Like,
Yeah.
Especially with relationships. Like, it is big thing. It just sets
so
many
people.
precedents that
So many people.
Like, there's so many things you have to live up to that you don't even know about.
Yeah. Like
At
so
times,
many so many people on TikTok are like giving relationship advice when they haven't been in a relationship for like 7 years. Or they've never been in a relationship and they're 13, but they're like, my partner should always drop everything because I'm important. Yeah. It's like,
Your
no.
partner needs time to himself. Oh, drop him. He's toxic. Like, no, that guy's probably an introvert. He needs time to chill. Like,
Yeah.
bruh.
Like, as an introvert myself, I can definitely say that I just need time to fucking chill out and relax, man.
Yeah.
What do you think I am, a superhuman? I can't go out to the clubbing for 6 hours and then come home and still want to actually socialize. No, I want to go home, play video games, then play with Lego and fall asleep. Like, come on.
Hell yeah. No, it's a man's way of doing things.
Yeah. That's a hectic way of doing shit. You go to the club, get beat up by a gang, come home, build some Lego,
standard.
go to sleep. That's my average Saturday night.
I love it. Very nice. But yeah, like in conclusion, I think social media, like,
It definitely plays
know.
a massive role in teaching youth, especially like early teens and even late teens in.
Oh well, yeah. The age people are using it is getting younger every year.
Yeah.
So there's so many impressionable things out there, and there's so many like OnlyFans girls just shoving their ass in their faces.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like, get your bag, but
Yeah, get the bag.
God,
but-
I wouldn't want to have a kid on the internet right now. Like,
Oh,
this is
absolutely
what I'm
not.
saying.
Like,
It's-
could you imagine?
It's
Could
a
you
hellhole.
imagine like what those OnlyFans girls are going to be doing in 10 years? Like, how many of them do you think are going to stay with OnlyFans for 10 years? Because the hype around OnlyFans is going to die off soon, and no one's going to be on there really.
Well, I don't know. I don't really know enough about it to comment because I've never personally used it. But I don't know. Like, get your bag, do what you want. But I don't know. It's just so public now. It's all over the place.
Yeah, like
And you know, there's the age filters with this stuff is just all this stuff is going to be seen by kids. Like,
yeah, to get on OnlyFans, all you need is a Twitter account.
Oh, okay.
That's it,
Well,
or a Google account.
That's a quick way in.
Like, you literally have to be 13 to go onto OnlyFans. Like, I'm not sure about like other
13?
countries. Yep, 13. You have to be 13 to go on OnlyFans.
Well, I suppose it isn't just porn. Like, there's some other stuff on there. But, yikes.
Yeah, but like, it's 99% porn.
Yeah, like, they know their market, surely.
They know what's happening on the site. They'd be ignorant to say they didn't.
Anyway, efforts aside. Yeah, like, what do you think about the argument anyway? Like,
I think
what's
that
your stance?
a lot of people who claim video games cause violence are ignoring the root problem, which is mental health causes violence. There was one guy, he started playing Grand Theft Auto, and then he killed his neighbor. He murdered his neighbor, who also went to the same school as him. He was about 16. They went to school together. Then on the walk home from school, he killed her. And everyone was blaming Grand Theft Auto because this is the first came out. It was quite a while ago. It was the first Grand Theft Auto, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, this video game made him kill someone." When he actively stated, "No, I wanted to kill her." And going
Well, yeah,
into
like-
that, like, what healthy, sane, normal person is going to think, "I hate this person, so I'm just going to go stab them to death"?
Yeah,
like,
like,
no.
there's definitely way more to it. Like, it's not just, oh, you know, I picked up Grand Theft Auto. I mean, it's the first one, even. Like, nothing is visible.
The worst you could do was the hot coffee mod, which looked like someone stripping off Barbie dolls and then smashing them together.
Oh, is that in San Andreas?
Oh shit, yeah, that was.
Yeah. Yeah, that's even, like, way down the line.
Yeah, that's still
That's crazy.
years down the line. The first Grand Theft Auto, what could you do? Realistically, what could you do?
You could run people over. That's...
You could run people over, you could shoot them from a distance. That's
Yeah.
about it. And-
It's no violent than anything. No more violent than anything else. Like,
And at the time, you also had movies going around, like Aliens, for example, 1984. That literally has people getting blown to bits, people being dissolved in acid. You know,
yeah.
and they're not saying that causes violence when that's way more violent than 3 polygon people holding up a grey square that says gun on it and then clicking a button and another person in the distance falls over.
Yeah, I think the issue people had with it is because it was such a. I think at the time there was no rating. There was no rating system for
yeah.
games, so no one knew which was a kid's game, which one was an adult's one. It's like Grand Theft Auto. Oh, they steal cars. Well, that's not that bad, right? And then they go around gunning down people, and the parents are like, "Whoa, what the hell are they doing?
What is this?
Like,
Maybe I should have read the description.
Maybe you should have looked at the box art. Like, is this not your fault?" Like, you need to have a bit of control over what you can see.
Absolutely.
But I think, like, as long as they're well educated, and of course they need to be like in, you know, the if they're you know, not mentally, if they're going to be affected negatively by even playing that, they shouldn't play it.
Yeah, like if your kid's gonna have nightmares because they shot someone in Grand Theft Auto, then they shouldn't be playing Grand Theft Auto, because that's just affecting them negatively.
Yeah, like
that's
as long
just
as you're
setting them up.
educated, and you know, son, it's not okay to run over crowds of people. Oh, okay, Dad. And like,
Son, you know you shouldn't be going into that strip club and beating those strippers with a baseball bat. Like, no sane person is going to do that in their real life. So as long as you also know the difference between real life and video games, which is something that's kind of getting harder to distinguish with virtual reality and things like increased graphics. Like, some people could be playing a virtual reality game, and it's really difficult to distinguish that from the real world if the developers of that game make that one of their addictive features to make people play more.
Yeah, no, it is. Well, it's still like, yeah, you look at it and it's, yeah, that's a video game. Like, it's probably not far off from looking absolutely real, right?
Yeah. Like,
yeah,
something.
It's just definitely, yeah, partly the upbringing and just being educated. Like, no, this isn't okay. Like, as a personal example.
Yeah.
As a kid, I played Call of Duty or when I was probably like 10.
That's such a good game.
Or probably maybe younger. I probably shouldn't have.
I definitely shouldn't have.
I was one of those kids who was like, oh yeah, World War II, like, oh, it's so cool, like, all war, like tanks, this, that.
Yeah, I was the same.
I look back and I'm like, yikes. Like, I thought like World War II was so cool, and I probably didn't know like the impact of like Nazis on society and how bad they are. And I'm worried for like the things they said.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, like, of course you hear it from a kid and you're like, oh, he doesn't know any better. But like, holy shit, like, if you took what I said back then out of context, is probably really bad. And
especially in today's society.
Yeah, it's just because, well, obviously, you know, not everything can be educated, but eventually, like, they educated in school, and you're like, oh shit, all right,
yeah,
the Holocaust happened, like, yikes,
oh,
okay.
the Holocaust, that's not good.
No, like, okay, maybe this wasn't such a cool period. Like, I think it's very, if stuff like glorifies it, that can be an issue. But
yeah,
you know, it's media. Like, people want to feel good, no matter what they're doing, right? So it's a hard thing. I don't think there's any clear definitive answer. Like, I want to say, like, no, they don't cause violence, but there's too many factors about it. I think they're mostly outside factors, though.
Absolutely. There's so many factors that can play into someone committing an act of violence, whether it be home life not being great, or the fact that they were a born sociopath. You really don't know if someone's going to cause an act of violence, but blaming it solely on video games is kind of like what they did back in the 80s, where they blamed rock music for things like act of violence.
Yeah. That was the same thing, right?
Yeah, it was literally the same thing. Like, they blamed Metallica and Led Zeppelin on like mass suicides. Like, Led Zeppelin specifically in the late 60s, early 70s, they blamed them for a whole bunch of shit when they didn't actually do anything. They were just making music.
Yeah, like, if stuff like heavy metal and violent video games, if they were like the stuff that caused violence, I would be the most violent person there is. Like, 90% of what I listen to is heavy metal, and it is all like just, you know, like one song just off my playlist is about just burning everything around you to death. I just like the guitar riffs in it. Like,
I'm
not like preaching what they're saying. I just like the guitar riffs. I play Doom all the time, and I'm constantly ripping things apart, pulling out guts, you know, all that sort of stuff. I am the like least confrontational person ever.
Oh, absolutely.
Any confrontation, I'm like, you know what? Not worth my time. I walk the other way.
Yeah,
I'm just not
absolutely.
interested. I feel like I get it all out there, and then I'm just like, you know, I'm fine
Like,
in
yeah.
normal life. Like sometimes it's an outlet, right?
Yeah. And
You
that's,
can
that's
argue
what
that
a
it's
lot of people
a-
use video games for. It's an outlet
Yeah.
for anxiety, for anger.
You can argue that it's completely against the violence thing.
Yeah.
It's just it's all on the perspective of it.
Yeah. And most people claiming that video games cause violence are of an older generation that don't really understand what video games are all about. They don't understand the meaning behind it. They see violence, and then they see violence in life, and they go, connect 1 and 1, make 3. Like,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
this is the same, and this is the same, therefore they must be the same. Whereas that's not true at all.
Yeah, it's just
It's connecting two dots that shouldn't be connected.
definitely.
Or at least there's no current connection. If
I think
if
there's
sometime in the future we find a connection like, oh yes, video games do actually cause violence, then I'd be happy to admit that. But as of right now, I don't think there's any definitive proof for either argument.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely. I think if you wanted to definitely say video games do cause violence, I mean, play League of Legends.
Oh, that makes me, that's gonna make me
You'll-
cause
you'll
violence.
You'll probably be violent after that. Whatever insecurities you had in school, like bullying and that. You know, that's just an area to take it out, right?
Oh yeah.
That was the vibe I got from players when I played it like once or twice anyway.
Oh, League is such a toxic game.
Yeah.
And there are toxic games as well, like Counter-Strike especially. I've actually I've had my personal address leaked multiple times while playing Counter-Strike.
There's just shit people.
That's just
Like,
it's the toxicity of the player base that's just really bad.
yeah, like violence or not, like people are gonna be shit if they're shit people.
Yeah.
Like, you can't stop that. It's just gonna happen. And you know, like maybe they do make shit people more violent, but they also make everyone else have fun, relieve stress, probably help with anxiety. I haven't fact checked like this stuff. Well, I've seen stuff. You know,
Yeah.
I've seen reports. I've seen this and that. I can't give you the receipts. That I don't know where they were, but you know, it helps with depression, helps with anxiety. It's more good than bad.
Yeah. Especially
Definitely.
games like Crossy Road, for example, or Fruit Ninja. They're not going to make someone and go, I want to jump in front of a train, or I'm going to go stab someone with a katana.
Oh, really? That's the vibe I got from those.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh.
man, Crossy Road,
Yeah.
the real serial killer maker.
I had to hide like 3 or 4 bodies after I finished one session of Fruit Ninja.
Oh yeah, Fruit Ninja's just the ultimate culprit. It made me go to Japan, made me learn blacksmithing and make my
Yeah.
own katanas, so I didn't have to buy one. So there's no receipt for me murdering 83 people in Japan.
I still haven't filled in the grave because I straight away played Crossy Road, like taking a break, and then I just jumped in
Yeah.
front of a car and I had to go to hospital. Now I'd forget where they are, you know?
Yeah. Oh jeez.
Yeah, obviously I didn't kill people after playing Fruit Ninja,
Yeah.
but
For
Yeah.
those of you who do not understand, that was all sarcasm. I have never even heard
Yes.
a person in real life before. I
This
got
is-
I got into one fight where I got my ass kicked because I refused to punch back.
I think I've only ever been in a fight once, and that's because I was probably like 4. I was
Fucking toddler boxing.
oh you know when like I don't know if you did this, but like before you start school, like you go in for a day to just see what it's like.
Oh yeah, I did. That.
Yeah, like I like met up with a like a sort of friend of the family who's a bit older, and you know they were a bit older, so they weren't really well, it's not their fault at all. It's because I was a dumbass.
Yeah.
Like, because there's this other kid and they were like joking about like, oh yeah, like kill this guy. Like, you know, obviously they weren't serious about it. Like, it was real lighthearted. I was like, yeah, haha, like, because I knew no better, and I threw a rock at the kid. And I hit him in the head. That was a really good shot as well, and I feel so bad about it. What, 16 years later, and I still feel bad.
Yeah, that reminds me of when so I used to play cricket competitively. Yeah, I know. I used to
Nice.
I used to play cricket in like an actual team, and we were playing competitively, and one time I was fucking awful at batting. I'm just gonna put it out on the table. I was dog shit at batting. And I hit the ball as hard as I could, and it went straight into this guy's head. Like it hit him in the forehead, and he was just out cold.
Nice.
And this wasn't like slow. Like this ball was going at about 60, 70 k's an hour. It just went straight into his forehead, and he was just dropped.
Look, man, all I'm saying is standing in the way. He was asking for it.
He was behind me as well. He was in the safest position he could have been, and it just went straight into him. Like a fucking homing missile.
360. God. Yeah. Well, yeah, like... I forgot what our point even was. Were we still on the violent stuff?
I think so. I think we were just talking about, like, how unviolent we are.
Yeah,
and
like
how much we love video games.
The most violent I've ever been was probably before I'd even picked up like anything violent in terms of games.
The most violent I've
it's because I was a dumbass.
The most violent I've been is probably when someone kicked me in the back of the head, and so in retaliation, like 10 minutes later, I kicked them in the nuts so hard I smashed one of their testicles. Yeah.
Well, like you actually like popped.
Yeah, it popped. It was 90% split in half. And by the way, I genuinely still feel bad about that, and that was 6 years ago. And I spoke with the guy on his birthday this year, and I broke down crying in front of him because I couldn't say sorry. And he was like, dude, I don't care. Like, they stitched it back up. It's fine. It looks normal. I completely forgot about it.
It's alright. He's got a spare one anyway.
Yeah, he's got two. You don't even need one.
He needs both. Get rid of one. Sell it on the black market.
Yeah, I'm sure some rich Chinese guy will buy it. I'm sure they've got some medicinal.
It's a nice side for their lobster meal, whatever you call it. I don't know meals.
Yeah, I don't.
Some kind of it's something expensive, a ratatouille or some bullshit. I don't know.
Why are they cooking Remy?
They cooking Remy, dude. Like, if all I'm saying, like, if that rat can control the one guy, and he was using it to make food, he was really missing his potential. Like,
yeah, for real,
he could take over the world, man. Like Ratatouille 2, like they're rats on heads, like waging wars against each other.
Like for real, Ratatouille 2 would definitely be like a cooking competition where the prize is like their own restaurant, but the restaurant's built on top of like an Indian burial ground, so it's haunted. And just some of the 80s horror movie, the 80s horror movie stuff.
I want to see ghost rats. I want to see Ghost Ratatouille.
Yes.
I want to
see Ghost Remy coaching another rat that's like, I can't do this, and then he gives him a pep talk, and then he's like, I can do this, and then he goes and steals something on a New York subway station.
I want to see rats with gats. I want to see
rats with gats.
Yeah, I want to see rats with gats. I want to see Gatatouille.
Gatatouille. What is he from? New York?
No reason. I just like the idea of rats with guns.
Rats with guns.
Yeah, like you see my profile picture on Discord, right?
Yeah, it's literally just a rat with a gun.
There's a low poly rat from Max Payne 1 where they had an Easter egg where, like, if you shot a grenade launcher like in a hole of the wall or something, later on in the level, a bunch of rats come out and they all have guns and they start shooting at you, and it's like my favorite Easter egg in any game ever.
That's so cool.
For the last like 6 months, it has been my Discord picture.
Oh,
I think I set it as my like YouTube little badge thing, like you know when it like you hover over and it says subscribe, like in the bottom right hand corner of the video. That's the Gat Rat from Max Payne.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm actually putting an Easter egg in the game that I'm working on now. So if anyone's listening and they want to find that, there's an Easter egg somewhere in that game. The first person to DM me on Discord what the Easter egg in the game is, I will give you a prize that I haven't decided yet.
Very good, very good. Do they know what game to look in, or
I will tell them when it's released.
Okay. Yep. Can't talk about it yet. No, that's good.
I cannot talk about it yet, but I can say it's awesome, and you should definitely play it when it comes out. We'll be introducing it at PAX.
Big things coming.
Definitely big things coming.
But it's all right. Well, we're coming up on the minute and 10 minutes mark.
The minute and 10 minutes?
Oh, wow, that's been a quick podcast.
Yeah.
Finish the intro, close it off.
Yeah, 10 minutes per minute?
Yeah, hour 10 minutes.
Hour
10 minute mark. So
yeah,
we should probably wrap it up a little bit.
Yeah, we'll wrap her up. Thank you very much for coming out to episode 1 of the what is it? Underdeveloped podcast?
Underdeveloped.
Yeah, the Underdeveloped podcast. For some reason I thought it was the Underside podcast. Why is it Underside?
The Undertaker podcast. We're gonna start wrestling. Next podcast is gonna have a video. We're gonna be in a ring. Yeah. I'm just gonna be like suplexing you.
Yep. It's a chairs and ladders match.
Oh yeah. No, we're just gonna be throwing chairs at each other.
I'm gonna climb the ladder, and instead of grabbing the belt, I'm gonna dive bomb you and then miss and dislocate both of my shoulders.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna climb a ladder as well, and when you like dive bomb me, I'm gonna like grab you in midair and do like a front flip and then throw you at the ground. Yeah.
And then you're gonna land back on the ladder?
Yeah, I will. I'll gain altitude and get back on the ladder because I'm just that good, I'm just that good.
Yeah, well, when you grab me and flip, I'm gonna grab you and flip again. So then you do a double somersault and go through the floor, and then I'm gonna grab your ladder and put it on top of my ladder and then land on that.
All I'm saying is I got the experience from when I was a 4-year-old. So,
oh shit, I gotta back up now.
Yeah, I could beat your ass, dude. I'll get that rock.
You get the same rock.
The same rock. I will find it. I'm a sharpshooter. This is like the perfect aerodynamic like rock. God, all right. Well, anyway,
thank you very much.
Where can the viewers find you, Jay?
They can find me at twitter.com/HIPIX01. Where can they find you, Dolan Dark?
I just want to say, wasn't it HEPIX? You said HI.
Oh, really? I thought... Yeah. Epix.
Yeah, HEPIX01.
HEPIX01.
I got you, boo.
It stands for hella epic.
Hell yeah. Hella epic. Alright. Well, you can find me at youtube.com/c/Dolzo or twitter.com/Dolzo_. That's the symbol, not the word. Whoever has the original Dolzo username won't give it to me, and they're a bitch. So
do they actually still post stuff? I don't think so.
No, I think it's unused. I can't remember. Either the Dolzo or the Dolzo one is unused. Yeah. You can find me there.
The at Dolzo has been suspended.
Oh shit! All right, maybe I need to jump in and take that.
Yeah, you go take that bag.
Hell yeah!
Anyway,
all right, well,
thank you very much for listening, and we'll catch you next week.
Yeah, thank you very much. Have a good one, boys. Catch you later.
See ya.